Okay, so we're going to talk about two reality shows. They're separated by a whole decade, but they have the exact same premise. A bunch of women competing to marry some guy named Harry. But believe me, this isn't just a story about dating shows. It's a story that tells you everything you need to know about how our idea of reality and entertainment has totally changed. So let's get into it.
I mean, think about it for a second. Could you be tricked into dating a prince? It sounds completely bonkers, right? Like something out of an old storybook. I mean, we live in an age where you can find out someone's entire life story with a 5-second Google search. So who on earth would actually fall for a trick like that?
Well, it turns out that about a decade ago, a TV network decided to put that exact fairy tale to the test. They rounded up 12 American women who were promised this, incredible fantasy romance, but they had absolutely no clue what they were really signing up for.
Yeah, the show is called I Want to Marry Harry, and its entire foundation was built on one of the biggest, most audacious lies ever told in reality TV. And that's saying something. The concept, when you think about it, was pretty simple, and honestly, kind of brilliant in a diabolical way. You take a dozen American women, you fly them out to this gorgeous English castle, and you convince them that they're all competing for the affections of, yep, Prince Harry himself. But, of course, there was one teeny tiny little problem.
Yeah, the guy at the center of this whole thing, he wasn't Prince Harry. Not even close. He was a fella named Matthew Hicks, a totally normal dude whose main qualification was that he, kinda looked like the prince if you squinted. His real job? Cleaning up oil spills. Talk about a reality check.
So, the big question is, how in the world did they actually pull this off? I mean, really? Well, it wasn't just dumb luck. Oh no, this was a super methodical, almost like a psychological operation, designed from the ground up to build this perfect, believable illusion. They didn't just, find a guy who looked like Harry and throw him in there. They put Matthew through a full-on royal boot camp where he had to learn polo, etiquette, the whole shebang. Then they completely isolated the contestants in this castle. They flew Harry in on a helicopter flanked by security guards. They had butlers. Every single detail was just so meticulously crafted to sell this lie.
And the manipulation, it went way deeper than just helicopters and butlers. One of the contestants, Kimberly Birch, she later said the whole experience felt like brainwashing. And get this, she revealed that the producers brought in a fake therapist. So whenever contestants started having doubts, this therapist would tell them they were just being paranoid and needed to stop questioning things. They were literally messing with their heads. Okay, so after all of that, the castle, the fake prince, the brainwashing, you have to wonder, did this whole crazy experiment even work? Did people actually watch it?
4. Just 4. That's how many episodes made it to air before Fox just yanked it. The ratings were terrible. I mean, abysmal. Nobody was buying the fairy tale. The show got canceled, and they just kind of dumped the rest of the episodes online. It was a complete and utter failure. So you would think that's the end of the story, right? A funny, weird little cautionary tale from the annals of reality TV history. But fast forward a decade, and believe it or not, another show is asking women to marry a guy named Harry. Except this time, the whole game is different.
And that brings us right up to the present day, with a brand new show and a very, very different kind of Harry. This new show, Let's Marry Harry, stars Harry Jowsey, and he's not pretending to be anybody. He is famous for being Harry Jowsey. You probably know him from shows like Too Hot to Handle or Perfect Match. He's a professional reality TV star, a full-blown influencer with millions of followers. And right here, this is where the story gets super interesting, because the shift from that first Harry to this Harry, it tells us absolutely everything about how much reality TV and maybe even our culture has changed in just 10 years. I mean, just look at the two of them. Back in 2014, the big prize was a guy who was pretending to have status. His entire value was based on a lie. But now, the prize is a guy whose status is 100% real, at least in the world of influencers and social media. His value isn't some royal title, it's his follower count. And here's the key difference. This time around, nobody's being tricked. Today's audience knows exactly who Harry Jowsey is, and they come armed with some very strong opinions and a whole lot of cynicism. You just have to look at how people reacted online when the show was announced.
Let's just say the reactions were blunt. We are so far past fairy tales now. A lot of the modern audience just sees him as this known character, you know? Like one user put it, "This man's a clown." And there's zero belief that he's actually in it for love. The skepticism is just off the charts. Like this person said, he ain't gonna put in any of the work. And this one just shows you how media savvy people are now. They immediately clocked the irony that the show is produced by Alex Cooper's company, which is literally named Unwell. As one person wrote, "Produced by Unwell, the jokes write themselves." See, people aren't just watching the show anymore, they're analyzing the entire machine that makes it.
So what this all boils down to is that the prize itself has completely changed. Back in 2014, the ultimate goal was to trick women into loving a commoner. But now, the goal is to compete for a professional influencer. The fairy tale romance is gone. The new prize is being close to fame. It's about getting clout.
And that kind of leaves us with one last big question. Back in 2014, the producers were tricking the contestants. But today, it seems like the contestants, the start, everybody knows what the game is. So has the deception really gone away? Or has it just shifted its target? Maybe the new illusion isn't meant for the people on screen anymore. Maybe the new illusion, the fantasy that any of this is actually about love, is being sold directly to us.